Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video from Ward Antiques. I'm Paul, and today I wanted to take a look at Royal Memorabilia. Since over the last 12 months or so, since we've been dealing, or since I've been dealing in antiques, a lot of the time I'll get offered huge amounts of Royal Memorabilia. I've sold quite a bit of Royal Memorabilia. I get very tempted to actually buy quite a lot of it. So really wanted to sort of fill you in on what sells, what doesn't sell, and whether it's worth spending your money on. So what I've found so far is the more unusual pieces, or the older pieces, will sell. They're not going to make you rich. The most I've sold something of Royal Memorabilia for is about £40, which was a teapot. The typical cups will sell between sort of £5 and £10. So unless you're buying a bulk amount and managing to split them out, it's probably not worth spending your money on. However, a lot of the time I've found that if you do get a lot in, separating them off into little lots of sort of 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces does get a lot of interest. So recently I've had some Queen Victoria, which I'll add some photos in, which has sold really, really well. And we've just picked up a huge range of mugs and cups, which I'll show you today. So as with everything, it's really down to the popularity of the person. And as I've said earlier in the video, it's the aged ones are better. So Queen Victoria, there's a big demand for. The ones I would certainly not spend my time on if I could help it is sort of more of the modern Queen Elizabeth II. At the moment, there's a lot of these out there because obviously we've had a lot of jubilees, birthdays and the like. Certainly the modern ones the collectors aren't really looking for. So I've got about 8 of these at the moment, which I'm selling online. I've split them into lots of 2, 3s and 4s. If there is anything once they sell that sort of stood out and does get a lot of interest, I'll update it on the channel so you know what to look out for. Personally, I'd say avoid these. The other modern ones, obviously Charles and Diana's wedding and births of children and the like, and obviously the more modern royals as well, not really getting any interest in, so avoid these. However, with cups, quite an unusual one here, which is Edward, I believe, or George, one of the two, which is an enamel mug for the 1902 coronation. I've literally put this online on an auction a few days ago, and it's already got a huge amount of interest, so it'll be quite interesting to see where that one finishes. But again, it's quite an unusual piece. There's not a lot of these around, and being an enamel, you don't really see a lot of those. The other older ones or unusual ones, I've got one here, which is King George V and Queen Mary Silver Jubilee, and this is actually from quite an unusual manufacturer, which is Gerald and Sons in Norwich. So it's not one of the mainstream ones. So again, be interesting to see what responses this one gets. And again, that older one in being King George VI and Queen Elizabeth. So again, I'll let you know how that one goes. So if you are tempted by the cups, go for the older monarchs. And if you can, ideally put them together, and you should still do quite well out of them. The slight difference to the rule is I've recently sold some Wedgwood commemorative cups, which the photo is here. They were by a well-known designer, Richard Guyat, for Wedgwood, so there was a lot of interest in those. I also had a Queen Victoria sort of magazine almost, of which the photo is here. And again, that had a lot of interest. We actually went to an overseas buyer in the end, so any of that older, because obviously that was late 1800s, early 1900s magazine or book, that was very, very popular. Contradicting that, I then had to put quite a large lot together of old and modern pieces, as pictured here. Again, tried to sell that on an auction on eBay, didn't really get a huge amount of interest, and actually had one bid which bought it in the end. So sort of almost in a nutshell, and to wrap things up, as I said earlier, if you are going to go for Royal Memorabilia, go for the older stuff or the unusual stuff. Do your research and don't spend a fortune on it. I quite enjoy it. I think it's quite a nice thing to have. However, it's certainly not going to make you rich. So obviously just work it into your business plan in your antiques dealing or collectibles dealing. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you found it useful. If so, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.